What's going on, everyone? This is Vince from Life with Vince Lou. So you're thinking about running your first marathon and you're not really much of a runner. Well, that was me at the beginning of the year. I decided to make one of my goals this year to run my first marathon ever, and I just completed that goal this past Sunday in San Diego, where I ran the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon. So I want to talk a little bit more about my experience, and if you were looking to run your first marathon or even a half marathon, hopefully these tips and tricks will help you out. So one of my goals this year was to finish my first marathon ever. So I knew that I was gonna have to train for it. But with that in mind, I had other fitness goals as well. So I wanted to get good at jiu-jitsu, I wanted to stay relatively strong in the gym, and then I also wanted to complete my first marathon. So with that being said, my training program revolved around balancing these three things. So I was going to jiu-jitsu 3 to 5 days a week, so that really helped with my overall fitness, my hip strength. I'm constantly moving my hips, so that helped with the marathon training. I was going to the gym 2 to 3 days a week where I would deadlift and squat and do pull-ups, so that really helped with my legs, overall leg strength. And then as far as my running program, I was running 1 to 2 days a week where I would at least do a long run. Well, to be honest, like my long runs I did about every other week, where I would do anywhere from 10 to 15 miles. So actually prior to running the 26.2 this past Sunday, the longest my long run has ever been was 15 miles. But with the addition of the gym and jiu-jitsu, I felt like everything was a good balance for me, because I was still preparing for the marathon, I was still getting good at jiu-jitsu while still staying relatively strong in the gym. But jiu-jitsu and the gym was really helping me prepare for the marathon as well. In addition, with the combination of the three things, I was able to lose a little bit of weight, because I knew that if I wanted to complete the marathon, it was going to be a lot easier if I were to lose a couple pounds, because the difference of me running at 136 pounds, which I am right now, versus running at 140 pounds, it was a huge difference. So it just made it a lot easier to shed a couple pounds to make the run easier overall. With that being said, make sure you customize your training program to fit your own personal needs. For me, I wanted to balance powerlifting, jiu-jitsu, and completing this marathon. So I was okay with sacrificing some of those days to make some of those running days to make sure that I was still getting good at jiu-jitsu, because in the end I know that I could have trained a little bit harder, put in more miles, but I wasn't okay with giving up those jiu-jitsu days or those strength days. So for me, it's what fit my personal life and my goals. But overall, I was still able to finish the race. Also, in addition, I think something that really helped me out as far as training for this marathon, staying on top of that, and then also completing it, is that I ran with a friend and I trained with a friend. So I hit him up about 5-6 months ago, and I knew that he was really into fitness, and then he was kind of a runner, because we had talked about it before that he wanted to complete a marathon. And I was like, hey, do you want to run the San Diego Rock and Roll? I think this would be a good one, and then we can go down to San Diego, hang out. I can take you around there, because I lived there for 9-10 years. He was like, yeah, cool. So we signed up, and leading up to the race, we were texting each other, we would run together, we would stay on top of each other. But not only that, we actually ran the race together and finished the race together. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you need that extra motivation or that extra help, you can get it from someone else, and that'll make sure that you stay on top of your training program. And then also it'll make that run a little bit funner too. So the race itself, so as you can tell by this cool little medal, that we actually finished the race. So we finished it in about 5 hours and 17 minutes. So the first half marathon, we were 2 hours, 22 minutes. And then we were actually on pace. We were doing pretty good. We were gonna finish in about 4 hours and 35, 4 hours and 40 minutes. But we had a little bit of mishap around mile 22, where my friend cramped up and I was feeling it a little bit in my knees. But we definitely didn't want to leave each other, and we wanted to stay with each other and finish the race. So for us, it was just finishing the race. I didn't really care about the time or the pace. I mean, it would have been cool to get under 5 hours, but for me, it was just, let's just finish the race together. We did this together. So we ended up walking a little bit of the latter end of the race, probably the last you know, 3 or 4 miles, but the important thing is that we finished the race. So there is a thing, you do hit the wall. For me though, I felt pretty good overall. It was actually when I stopped going a little bit fast and I was walking that it really hurt my knees even more, and I felt it more in my ankles and my knees when I was walking versus when I was actually running. In addition, the aftermath of the race, we ran it on Sunday. I was pretty sore on Monday, but Tuesday I thought I was going to be super sore, but I'd actually recovered pretty well, and then by Wednesday I wasn't even really sore anymore. So I think that the soreness, I expected to be a lot more sore, but I think from my other fitness things that I do, that's why I wasn't really that sore. So overall, the recovery was good. All in all, I felt like the marathon was challenging. I think on a 1 to 10 scale, it probably been like 7, because I know that if I would have put more time and training into it, then I probably could have completed the race without stopping the whole time, without stopping. So all in all, it was a good experience. It actually motivated me to want to run even more marathons this year and even hopefully complete an ultra. So the goal is to hopefully run a 50 by the end of the year, and then another 100 miler hopefully by the end of the year, but if not, next year would be okay. So overall, very good experience. If you're thinking about running your first marathon, definitely do it. I think it's super worth it. You feel this sense of accomplishment at the end, and you just take your picture, you have your medal, and then you can say that you're a runner now. So for me, before this, I didn't really consider myself a runner, but now I kind of do. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did like that video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Other than that, see y'all soon.